As I am preparing your cards, I wish to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land that I am doing this reading from, the Gumbaynggirr people, and recognise their continuing connection to the lands, waters, communities, and their culture. I pay my respects to their elders past, present, and emerging. Hello Aries, welcome to your June 2023 reading. I'm Lou from Empress Blue. Welcome to Gemini season. Gemini representing your third house, the house of your mind, of your mental programming, of your mental patterns. You have the patterns card here straight away. I can tell you that this month will be all about your patterns, about automatic responses, automatic habits, and about the lens that you view the world through, and that set up your responses to the environment, to situations, to outcomes. That's that third house energy. The third house is our responses. It's our immediate reactions to situations that take place in our lives, which is based on our beliefs and our foundational, our core fundamental beliefs, and the perspective and meaning that we apply to life. So there's an opportunity for you to reevaluate, to reassess, and to consider the meaning that you're applying and the patterns of automatic thought. With the sun moving through Gemini this month, and Mercury, which moves in there on June the 11th. So Mercury will add to this storyline, and Mercury is the planet that rules the third house. So Mercury is very strong here. And so again, it's about those stories that you tell yourself, the stories that and the meaning you apply to situations. Now, we're coming into this reading with the energy of claim your power, and I love that, especially over here with this Gang Cockatoo Mountain Spirit card, because the other thing that's happening this month is your ruling planet Mars is in Leo, and it moved into Leo on May the 21st and will stay there until July 10th. So for the whole of June, Mars will be in Leo, and Leo represents your fifth house, which is the house of your authentic self. It's the house of your creative expression, your internal power. Your power is the house where we express ourselves, and the house where we connect with our true self and our desires and our passions. Now, the other thing that's happening in that house is on June the 5th, Venus will be moving into Leo, into your fifth house, and Venus will be gearing up to do a retrograde there. So from the end of July the 23rd, she will move retrograde in your fifth house. We'll talk way more about that in depth next month, but for this month, it's important to know, with Venus and Mars both traveling through that fifth house, and Venus preparing for that retrograde, this is a really powerful month of working through fifth house energy, and that's coming up in this reading as well, which is your power, right? So the storyline of what we'll be working through with the Venus retrograde will start to reveal itself to us this month. So keeping an eye on the events and everything that comes up for you this month is important to help you to apply yourself to this Venus retrograde energy next in July. Now, in the environment, we have the keep trying card. So if there's any hurdles that you're overcoming, and I do see there's a 7 of Swords and the 8 of Swords, so there are a few challenges coming through in June, that's coming through in the cards. And probably what these challenges will be is more your own mind tripping you up, your own patterns of thought, your own habits of thought that are tripping you up. But the environment is telling you keep trying, because look what else there is here. There's the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Cups. So there's a lot of potential this month that you can apply yourself to, particularly if you allow yourself to tap into your own innate power and express yourself. So with the fifth house and the third house so heavily activated for you, Aries, this month's all about self-expression. about how you are communicating yourself out into the world and how you're projecting yourself out into the world, and also how you are allowing that to influence you. Okay, so we're coming in with the Hermit card. So this is a you know, and this whole first row really is exactly what I was just talking about with the 5th house, is finding that that inner power, that innate power that comes from within. With the 9 of Cups there, you know, that's bringing us back to those desires, those true heart's desires, which is the crux of the 5th house, the true heart's desires. And the Ace of Wands telling us that anything, that this is possible, there's a potential for you to create something new. With the 5th house, you're looking at your creative hobbies. So you're looking at, you know, how you express yourself creatively, like for example through like dance and movement or painting or singing, or you know, those creative ways that you can express your authenticity and express yourself uniquely. And with the Hermit card, it's really about finding that within you, what that is uniquely to you, that doing that journey, and what really makes your heart sing. 9 of Cups, what really makes you feel happy. And it's really important to define the difference between a true heart's desire and a false desire, because sometimes we can think that we desire something and actually that's not true. And sometimes we can have a true desire that we tell ourselves we don't want because we don't believe that it's possible. We don't believe that it's that we should be allowed to have that desire. So it's really important this month to sort of work through what's your authentic true desires and what's a false desire. Now, with the authentic true desire, what a desire is really is it's a way that your inner being communicates to you as how it wants to be expressed out into the world. So this is about a soul purpose. This is about how your soul really wants to be expressed out into the world. And when you feel that sense of desire, that sense of yearning and strong pull towards something, that's your soul's way of communicating that to you, and that's authentic desire. But sometimes, obviously, let's use an example of, say, travel. Say you really desire traveling to travel overseas, and every time you see like a documentary about a different country, or you see somebody traveling, or you know, you feel this strong pull within yourself. That's that desire, that authentic desire. Then you tell yourself, oh, you know, I don't have the money, or I can't leave because of yada yada, any reason that you give yourself. And then as a way of coping with that, you decide that desire is not true, you know, or that's just, and then is not possible, or it's not, you know, it's not really what you want. I don't really want that. And a lot of people get stuck in that, you know, and that's what this 7 of Swords is here about, because it's, and the 8 of Swords, you know, people can get stuck in that thing, and they can even like blindfold themselves, literally, you know, in the traditional deck, the 8 of Swords is a woman with a blindfold. So it's that literally they blindfold themselves to what their true desires are. The 9 of Cups, convince themselves that they don't really want it. And, you know, because of all these reasons. So this is what we're looking at this month, Aries, about what you really want and why you really want it, and why you feel like you haven't achieved it so far. Because when we're looking at true desires, and also looking at how you can claim those true desires now, even if you don't have the money, is there another way that you can still get that same feeling? Can you do short trips? Can you explore other foreign places in other ways? Can you explore it through, can you get the same feeling through a higher learning or education? You know, that's that 9th house energy. We do have a full moon in the 9th house on June the 4th. So that could be the topic that you're exploring at the start of the month. It could be travel, it could be learning, it could be education, it could be your perspective, and realizing that there's a need to shift your perspective there. To line up with these true desires that are coming through from all this 5th house energy. I see a lot of this here with the celebrate differences, you know, that's kind of why I'm talking about the travel and the and foreign places and foreign people. There may be some different perspectives that come up that sort of clash with, or are just different for whatever reason to your own. And I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there is a little child here inside this spiral. I'm really drawn to that child. It's almost like having that childlike innocence of everything being new, this all being very new to you, and being excited and being and curious and not knowing, like that not knowing feeling of that's exciting. If that's what that feel of that draw of that true desire feels like. But then, you know, when we shut it down and we disconnect from it, and that feels like pain. That's when that feels, when things feel painful to you, or when you feel despondent, or I'm just feeling like a really heavy-hearted. That comes from denying ourselves of our true desires, or denying ourselves of access to our creative expression through denying those desires. And the other thing about the fifth house, and this is important to talk about with the Venus retrograde, and the fifth house is the house of potential love affairs, love partnerships, flings, that kind of stuff. It's not necessarily the people we spend the rest of our lives with, but it's those more romantic connections, people that shape us. It can be like social connections, social events, partying, playfulness, that kind of stuff. And that's important with the Ace of Cups in the center of the reading. So a lot of Aries, there's potential to meet somebody, to have a connection with somebody that comes up that can stimulate and activate a lot of this fifth house energy, with that excitement that I was talking about, connecting you with your power, helping you to be bold, helping to identify and recognize patterns, you know, like bringing up differences that could trigger you, you know, Seven of Swords, being triggered through differences, but that for the purpose of being able to explore that, and being able to explore what your lens is and what your underlying beliefs are, because with that third house, ninth house axis being activated, you have a chance to look at these patterns and change them. So yeah, there could be somebody who comes into your life at this time, particularly with the Venus retrograde. That person can help you to work through the healing energy that's available through the Venus retrograde happening in July, at the end of July. Alternatively, if this isn't a romantic situation, the Ace of Cups can be just indicating that potential to find something, like I've been talking about, find something to apply yourself to, something that really makes your heart sing, something that you've been desiring for a long time, or you didn't even know that you were desiring. It's like finding that missing piece and your heart opening up to it, and it feeling, you know, that heaviness of heart that I was talking about, lifting off you, something that will help to lift that heaviness. And we've got the Queen of Wands here, and seeing this, I feel like this is you. It could be this person coming in. If so, they're very confident, they're very sure-footed, very sure of themselves, and they will inspire you significantly. They have a lot of wisdom to share, a lot of inspiration to share, and they will have you feeling like you want to be a better version of yourself. Alternatively, this is you that's coming through with that energy as you connect to these desires and connect to your true heart, and connect to your own self-expression, having that confidence. See the Gangan Cockatoo here, to reclaim your power and to express yourself out into the world. And I see you coming through here with the Knight of Wands, which is enthusiasm, coming through with enthusiasm, getting excited about things, getting excited again, you know. When we deny ourselves of certain pleasures or certain desires or certain activities, you know, like say you've been really serious for a while, and I think you probably have been really serious for a while, because you've had Saturn moving through the top half of your hemisphere. It was in your 11th house, now it's in your 12th house. It's very serious energy, you know, and Mars also just did that retrograde in your third house. So, I mean, yeah, there's been a lot of serious energy. And so this playful energy that's coming out at the moment could feel uncomfortable. And that's why these swords are here. And that's really, like I said before, it's just a matter of like dropping that blindfold and allowing yourself to tap into something deeper and tap into that creative life force energy that that joyful, happy playfulness, that letting yourself be playful. And that is the energy really that shifts everything. We've got the wheel at the end of this reading. So everything shifts around as you tap into that lighter energy, as you tap into your truth. We've got the Ace of Wands, the Queen of Wands on top of this wheel. So as you claim your power, as you confidently connect with and engage with something that makes you very joyful and feel passion, something you're very passionate about, as you connect with that, that's when things start to turn around for you, Aries. And I'm seeing, you've got the Knight of Coins and the Hanged Man on the bottom of the deck. So this isn't something that will happen very quickly, but it's about looking at and tending to the details and tending to the vision. They've got Three of Wands here as well, the vision. There's a vision that as this grows, that becomes, you create this vision, and there's steps to get to there. And so it's not like all just la la happy land, but there is the potential, and that comes from that la la happy land feeling. As you get into that feeling, things start to flow. I feel like it's like a drain being unblocked, okay, and then things can start to flow. Yeah, it's like, I feel really strongly that there's a blockage that needs to be unplugged. And that's why this fifth house energy is so important for you, Aries. As you unplug that blockage, all this flow, you'll be revitalized, is what I'm hearing. You'll be really vitalized by whatever this fifth house energy is bringing into your life. Let's get some clarifying cards. Let's clarify, claim your power, please, for Aries. Claim your power. We've got the Knight of Swords. We've got the Eight of Wands. Oh, there wants to be two. We got the Eight of Cups and the Page of Pentacles. Okay, we've got two eights here. So eights being the energy of, almost being there, almost achieving your goals. You're almost there. With the Eight of Wands, things move really fast. That's that unplugging of the drain that I was talking about. As you claim your power, everything just flows. It's like it just happens so quickly, and so naturally it's like in this natural feeling of like, this it just feels so natural, so authentic. It's like you get from A to B, and you'll look back on the journey and you think, that should have been really hard, but it was so ease. There was so much ease there, and that's what Venus comes in to create for you, ease for you to get to where you need to go, and what previously felt difficult, especially with Mars there. Mars may be making things feel really difficult, but as you move through, there'll be a lot more ease. And we've got the Eight of Cups here, which is this pattern, this journey that I was talking about this, and keep trying, this, there is, what will be holding you back. If there's something holding back, or there's something blocking you this month, it will be your own mind. It will be your own, negative self-talk, or your own underlying limiting beliefs, which has an emotional attachment. There's an emotional reason why that you are holding those thoughts, those habits, those thought patterns. There's so there's a need to move through those emotions and figure that out. And that's the way that you reclaim your energy, you reclaim your power. And it's a learning journey, remembering with the Page of Coins here that it's all about learning. We're just learning here, and doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be anything serious. I mean, that's really what fifth house energy, and you'll be dealing with this fifth house energy for a few months. So remembering for the next few months, and then we move into Leo season. So we've got Cancer season starts on the end of June, and then at the end of July we move into Leo season as well. And so we've got like a good 3 months of this playfulness, and with fifth house energy, nothing can be serious. You can't take anything seriously. It's a very light-hearted energy, and if you're trying to take anything too seriously, it's not going to work. But this is a learning journey for you, Aries, learning to lighten up and to have more fun. And with the Knight of Swords, I think that you will be very curious. You know, you'll want to learn, you'll want to communicate. That's that third house. There's this beautiful like combining of that creative energy with your mental energy of communication and speaking it out and connecting with the mental quality of the spiritual side of everything that's going on for you. Let's clarify. Keep trying. Queen of Cups. Six of Cups. And the Sun. Wow, beautiful. And you got the Ace of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Love that here with this Ace of Cups as well. And the Strength card. Yeah. So that's, you know, that's really powerful message about what this Ace of Cups is bringing into your life. So for some Aries, it will be a relationship or the potential for a relationship or connecting with somebody, a connection. It could be, it doesn't have to be an intimate connection. It could be friendships as well. But for others of you, it will be bringing in that potential of connecting with something that really makes your heart sing, makes you feel really positive and feeling happy. And there is a need to be gentle on yourself. There's a need to take it easy and have more compassion for yourself, particularly if you're not where you think that you should be. If you're taking things so seriously, you know, you really try and drive yourself, that's not going to work throughout June. What will work is being more gentle, being softer. And then with the Six of Cups here is having that more childlike enthusiasm, that playfulness that I was talking about. That nothing but that playfulness is going to work for you this month. But if you can drop down into that playfulness, and also with the Queen of Cups is about nurturing, you know, nurturing. Let me just say as well, with the fifth house, it can be about children. So this could be that whole storyline of what I've just been talking about. You can apply that to your children, to your relationships with your children. This could be an improvement of your relationships with your children. If things haven't been going well with your children, they can, keep trying, keep going, and keep working at it, because as Venus moves retrograde in that sign, there can be big shifts that happen there with your kids, with children. And with the Queen of Cups, you know, that's that mother energy. So if you're the mother, or if this is you being the child and this is about your mother, keep trying. There's success, the sun, there's hope and optimism there if you just don't give up and you just keep going. But again, like I said, there's the need to come from a more playful, lighthearted approach to bring that into it, is the way that this will work. So let's get some cards on how this is going to be mirrored to you in your life, Aries. It's going to be mirrored to Aries throughout June. And we got oneness. Oops, okay. Universal mind and the unlimited self. Definitely, this unlimited self is exactly, that's the most perfect wording for what I was talking about with that fifth house. True desires, claim your power. Those true desires and come from the unlimited self. They come from your inner being wanting to be experienced through, wants to experience these experiences through you, and through. And they're also experiences that you want to experience. They're things that you've called to yourself, that you've desired, that you've asked for. You've seen, you know, enough of your life, and you've said, "I want this," and then that desire is felt within you, and that's calling you. It's calling you towards something. And as you connect more with that joyful, playful energy, you're tapping into the universal mind. So throughout June, if things feel really serious for you and it's an uncomfortable month for you, this is what you need to know, is you are disconnecting yourself from the universal mind. You're creating a separation. We've got this oneness card. So if you're feeling disconnected and you're feeling separate, and you'll know that feeling because it will hurt, it will be an uncomfortable emotion. You'll feel despondent, or that heaviness of heart, or anger or pain or suffering. That's the universe reflecting back to you that you've disconnected from your inner child, from your childlike enthusiasm, your childlike playfulness, your that energy of lightheartedness that children have, you know, through play, through creative self-expression, through your hobbies, through yeah, through connections, through relationships, through that, that romantic side of yourself. The romance as well can be very important this month. If you're in a long-term relationship, it can be romance that you can access and utilize this energy through. So if you're feeling like less than satisfied, that this is what's being reflected to you, and as you tap into your childlike joy, you can tap into the oneness and the universal mind, and that's when these aces and everything turns around. These aces can start cementing and appearing in your life, and you can create from there. You can be very creative from there. Okay, so Aries, that is your reading for June 2023. I hope this resonated for you. I hope you got something out of it. If it did, please could you give it a like and subscribe to my channel. That really helps me, and I'd be so grateful and appreciative of it. And if you feel like this would help other people, please can you share it too? That helps me as well. And comment as well. Leave me a comment to let me know how this has gone in your life. It helps me to gather context around my readings and gather information that I need to keep providing these readings and keep improving my own development. And so take care of yourself. Remember to play and be joyful and tap into your creativity. And I'll see you again in July. Thank you.